Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a first impression or my first use of the Mac Correct and Conceal Palette. So if you want to see a little bit how I got this face, it's not the complete tutorial of this look, but if you want to see how I did my foundation using the Correct and Conceal Palette, then please stay tuned. Starting out with my primers, I'm using the Skin Refined Zone by MAC as well as the Cover FX Mattifying Primer. And I'm going to apply that all over my face, focusing the Skin Refined Zone on my T-zone. I'm going to go in with the orange, the pure orange corrector. And at first I started trying to use this with a brush, but really didn't like it, so I ended up applying it with my finger. But you want to apply this to any dark spots you have on your face. So as you can see, I'm focusing this on my nose, under my eyes, and any other problem areas that I may have. I'm also going to mix this with the ochre shade as well and apply that to those same problem areas. I found that the orange was a bit too orange for my skin type, so I ended up mixing it, which worked out perfectly. So I'm just going back over those same areas that I applied it earlier. This product is perfect for any dark areas that you have. Like I have a few around my mouth, and it just helps to undo those dark areas before applying foundation. And then you won't have to apply as much foundation, which you'll see later. Now I'm going to take the ochre shade and apply that kind of as a highlight underneath my foundation. I'm applying that right on my jawbone as well as on my cheekbone. Just make sure you blend it out well. And here are the results just based on my correcting, which I think turned out really well. I'm using a light foundation so you can see how great the correcting was. And I'm just applying a little bit of foundation to my brush and I'm stippling it on. You want to make sure not to rub the foundation in heavily because it can move the correction that you just did. So I'm lightly stippling this on and I'm just using one layer of foundation, and I'm using the black opal foundation, which is a light to medium coverage. And here are the results. I noticed just a few other spots that I wanted to correct, so I'm just going in on top of my foundation and fixing those minor areas. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the darkest shade in the palette and I'm going to use that for contouring. I'm going to apply my contour with my finger and then blend it out with a brush. So I'm applying that right along my jawbone, also around my temples, in the perimeter of my face. And I'm also going to apply some on my nose as well, which you'll see later. I'm going to use a brush to apply the contour to my nose, and you want to start your nose contour up close to your eyebrow because that's actually where the bone of your nose starts. And you just want your nose, and the purpose of contouring is to make your face look more defined. Because sometimes whenever you use foundation, it can kind of flatten your face, and you want it to you use contouring to add back the definition. So I'm applying the contour with this Eco Tools brush, and I'm going to blend it out with this buffing brush from Morphe or Morphe. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I'm using this contouring brush from Morphe brushes. And I'm just going to blend in the contour so the lines don't look as harsh. Because you kind of want to create a shadow. You don't want these blatant lines around your face. You don't want it to look like you're getting plastic surgery. So I'm going to go in with this smaller brush and apply a highlight in the middle of my contour of my nose. This is just going to help draw light to the areas where I want to draw light, which is the center of my nose, my forehead, and on my chin as well. I'm also applying a little bit of that highlight underneath my eyes as well, but you can see the highlight if you notice on my cheekbones and right along my lower jawline. You can notice the highlight that I applied underneath my foundation as well. So here I am just blending out those harsh lines, and I didn't really get them blended as well as I wanted, so I'm just going to go in with my fingers and finish out the job. Okay, so here's the final look. You can go in with any setting powder and set your foundation. I chose to use the Too Faced Primed and Poreless as well as the MAC Recharged setting powder. And you want to apply that anywhere where you applied concealer. I really love the Correct and Conceal palette from MAC. As you could see in the previous footage, I kind of mixed the pure orange and ochre correcting shades to kind of cover up some dark spots on my nose as well as other areas of my face. I also used this shade right here called, I keep getting it mixed up, NW55. I did use NW55 to contour, and I used a mix between NC45 and NC50 on my brows. So overall, like I said, I really love the palette. I do plan to get more palettes like this to put in my kit. I'm not sure if I want to get this one again or try the one from Makeup Forever. I have tried that one as well. But the shades are just a little bit different than this palette. If you don't want to spend 40 bucks on the MAC Correct and Conceal palette, there are lots of options out there. Lots of companies have correcting palettes such as BH Cosmetics and Coastal Scents. They are a bit on the more affordable side. Here is a correcting palette that I got online at on a website at tmart.com, and it has this green correcting shade as well as a lavender and a yellow, and you use the yellow to kind of highlight and cover up any dark areas for paler skin. You also use the green to correct any redness, or you can use the lavender to correct any to offset any like yellowish tones in your skin. And like I said, these shades are for more pale skin types, but this is an option as well. I got this from tmart.com. NYX also has correcting shades. So there are lots of other options out there if you don't want to spend 40 bucks on a higher end one. But I really love this and plan to not my everyday makeup routine, but I do plan to incorporate it into my kind of full face glam routine because I don't really have time to sit and correct every day before going to work, and really to me it's just not that serious. But if I want something like kind of a full face, or kind of like what I have today, which is kind of like glam and a little over the top, that is what I would use this palette for. And like I said, it'll be great for makeup clients. So if you have any questions or want more information, then leave a comment below. As always, any information will be in the bottom bar. And I appreciate you for watching. Until next time, bye.